What's up, everybody? Welcome to Moments with the Mobleys. I am your man, Johnny Mobley Jr.,
Hey, y'all, I'm his wife, Deidre,
and we something like an ordinary couple.
with extraordinary purpose.
That was Why you looking at me like that? That was something you was trying to bust at.
You know about that the other day when I told you about that. So don't try to bother it, talking about you didn't know what that was. You know what it was.
Salutations.
We didn't finish it.
And we something like an ordinary couple. I said we something like an ordinary couple.
With extraordinary purpose.
Oh.
Greetings, salutations, accolades, blessings. Hey, y'all.
So she always busting bumps.
Hey, patrons.
She always busting bumps, and she don't let the bumps just go away.
I have been doing good for a very long time.
She has, but then she busting a bump.
The bus, before your cycle come on, then the bumps come, and it was just too much. It really was, and I bothered it, and now I'm paying for it. But it's gonna be all right.
Just leave the bump alone.
It's gonna be all right, Mo.
Bump, go away. Don't never come back. No other day.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
How was your day?
It's all right.
So, y'all, we're we're eating healthier. We're working out. We've had some interesting meals since we began. This is our third week. I'm
gonna be all right.
Even them dang on glasses.
This is our guys. I was just looking at me like, oh, Joker.
Here we go tonight, because
But you start that foolishness.
Do a whole bunch of extra with them glasses.
I'm all right.
Lord. I'm gonna give my husband some contacts, y'all. Some lint-free lenses the next time.
I should have got them in the first place.
We have been eating a different variation of things. And so one of the worst experiences since we've started this plan is that we had to do a oats. It was a breakfast, first day, I think. It was oats, it was protein, and it was a little bit of almond milk mixed in with it. Y'all, it was awful. It was awful.
I tried to heat it up, and the oats soaked up everything. Then the whey powder soaked up the rest of it. So it was like some hot paste,
and it was nasty. And he ate more than we had. Like one of those red cups full. He was staying home to work that day, and I was going to work. And so I tasted it, y'all, and how you just try to put something in your mouth and swallow it. And I was pretending like I was about to throw up. But then on the way to work, I was trying to eat it some more and literally was gagging.
It was tough.
It was. He didn't eat all his. Tough. He ate more than I ate, but I'm still thinking that he made that. He said he made it the right way, but it was a mess.
Like I said, I think I probably should have just did the almond milk and the oats, and then made the whey powder, the protein powder,
as a
something
shake.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all. It was.
I mixed it all together, and it ain't turned out.
It was a mess.
It ain't turned out.
And so another interesting thing that we ate, which we've been doing a lot of chicken, a whole lot of vegetables. They throw fish in every once in a while. Protein shakes. But this morning, y'all, we had a mixture. It was called a breakfast pudding. And so we had chia seeds, a lot of chia seeds, almond milk, and protein powder. And so Johnny was trying to stir it in the bowl, and it wasn't looking right. I said, babe, it's liquidy, so I'm just going to put it in our shakers.
That's what she did.
Shook it up, put it in our shakers. We put it in the refrigerator, got dressed, came down. It's time to go to work. So we get our food and get the shakers. And when we get in the truck, because we were like, this don't look like pudding. It doesn't look like a pudding. So little did we know, because we're not chai seed eaters. We only had it in a couple of the dishes, and it was a little bit. Well, this morning it was a lot. And little did we know that the seeds would swell up and create a pudding. Johnny said, baby, this look a little thick.
So I went to shake so my wife, she likes to shake. It don't even matter what she got in, nothing. She just, how that she always shaking it like she got some dice or something. That what she likes. She like to know it. So I went to just shake mine up because it had a little, just in case something, it just separated or something. And I went to shake it and it ain't moved. I was like, baby, I think it done. Then I went to drinking it and it was like pudding. I was like, well, little did we know.
Yeah.
That it was going to change in the pudding. That's why I guess they put
the chai seeds in it.
The power, what they call it, a power protein pudding. That's what they call it.
Right.
And we was like, pudding? It's liquid.
This is a smoothie. This is a shake. Well, we didn't know that. And so.
We know now.
Right. And so he had regular vanilla flavored protein. I had the strawberry flavored one. So mine.
I had strawberry.
You had strawberry flavor too?
Yeah.
Okay, so it did have it helped it with the flavor, but what's those drinks that you can get from like the those restaurants, the bubble drinks or something like that, boba or whatever. I'm assuming that that's the consistency of what we drank.
I say it was like drinking squid. It was like glumps of just going down here.
So I'm drinking.
I just held my breath, and I was like, oh.
He finished earlier than I did, y'all.
Like,
what was funny was I was trying to gulp it as well, and Johnny was like, "Don't think about it, just do it. Don't think about it.
Swallow it, girl. Hold your breath and just swallow it."
So I said, you know what? Let me see the benefits of chai seeds. And so
this is exactly what happened, y'all.
So we was driving, and he said, babe, I think you already looked it up. I said, well, let me look it up again real quick. Let's see what the benefits, because they had us put a lot of seeds in here this morning. So it said, from boosting digestive health, metabolic rate, high iron, omega-3 content, and good fats, chai seeds make for an excellent addition to your diet. Most of all, the tiny white and black seeds are great for you to lose weight and reduce belly fat.
And she did just like this. I said, oh, you're motivated now.
Oh, it motivated me, y'all.
You're motivated now. Me. She looking at me talking about, don't high five now. Because you were talking trash when I told you just go on ahead and do it.
Oh, Lord, y'all. So this has been quite an adventure, quite a journey. But the one thing that I can say is that we've been doing our gym 3 times a week. We've been going by the plans that they've been giving us, y'all. I'm being stretched. Johnny is being, Johnny hasn't done this in a long time, but at one point that was all he did. So the gym is not new for him. He's just getting back into it. And so, but I find myself being stretched. And I told him the other day, like, I really like working out with you.
And I is you, ma'am.
Yes. And you do push me. And I'm glad that you do.
She's sexy when she never ways, though.
You all right?
Just calm myself down a little bit. That's
all. Oh, Lord.
I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be all right.
But needless to say, we do have fun while we're doing it. Some mornings it's a struggle, but we still get it done because we have a goal in mind.
Yeah.
And I must say, this is Johnny got a good report at his doctor's, and so we looking at coming off of these pressure meds and stuff like that or whatever, and so we're excited about it. Yeah. And so if you're not doing anything for your health, it's a cliche, health is wealth, but it truly is. Do something, even if it's a walk, if it's a jog, if it's we was talking to somebody yesterday. He said if you can do one push-up a day, do that one push-up.
Yeah.
Or, take that one half a mile, walk, pep step, whatever it is.
He literally said,
yeah.
He said if you do one push-up a day, every day for a year, that's 365 push-ups.
He said, but start somewhere.
Start somewhere.
Yeah.
Just do something.
Yeah. And so.
And our goal is, you know, me being 50, Deidre getting ready to turn 50, and we just want to live. We just want to live
Long
and be
lives.
intentional about our health, y'all. That's it. You know, it wasn't like we're not strangers to, you know, eating good and all that stuff. It's just, you know, stuff just happened. We're just being real. So life and stress and all this other stuff. So
it's convenient to pick up bad stuff.
Yeah. So the eating, what we're doing is we eating healthy. It's going to be a lifestyle change. We exercising, lifestyle change, physical exercising, and this is going to be our life from here on out. And then the other stuff, we reversing the behavior. So where we might have eaten not the right things all the time, we are going to eat the right things all the time, you know, for our health. And then we're going to just add in a pizza every now and then for a celebration or whatever. But even with the pizza, I think we
started doing the cauliflower crust
pizzas. So we do cauliflower crust and veggie pizzas and just different stuff like that. So it's a lot of options out there, man.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of food choices that we wouldn't have necessarily chosen, but because this plan has us on them, like I put a reel out today where we had the rice cake with hummus, just the original hummus, and cucumbers. And we was looking at each other when we were making it, but we both called each other. We were getting ready to call. I think I called you and you said you were getting ready to call me.
I said rice cake.
Hummus.
Rice cake just like...
He just started eating hummus.
Just like eating paper.
Yesterday.
Rice cake like eating paper. You eat paper... You gotta moist your mouth before you eat a rice cake because that's just how dry it is.
But the hummus and the cucumbers gave it a nice blend. It really
was nice.
Did. Yeah.
So I said that was different.
Yeah.
It was different. Wouldn't eat it every day, but you know, it was different. And we just branching out and we eating a lot of different stuff we wouldn't eat before. So and we will spend the money to buy groceries anyway. And so instead of buying a bunch of ribs and steak and all this other stuff, we've been buying chicken, fish, just eating right, man.
A whole lot of vegetables, y'all.
Jesus Christ.
A whole lot of vegetables.
I ain't never eaten much. I think I've eaten more vegetables in the last 3 weeks than I probably
like
eaten
a whole
life.
lifetime.
Yeah, they're big on the vegetables. But the crazy thing is, it's the nutrients that your body's supposed to get with the calories that we don't pay attention to, that your body needs.
Yeah.
So we've been literally fueling our body and can feel the difference and the strength and everything. So we just trying to match it, man, to match it. And at one time we was going to do a little challenge, but I think it's better we doing it together because we hold each other accountable. We on the same team and we just moving forward. So want to still be able to run with my grandkids and great grand and all that. My pops just turned 76, man, and he in good shape. So he moving around and all that good stuff. So I'm just want to keep that legacy right there going. So
amen. So we're going to talk, guys, a little bit.
Gonna have a little fun today.
As y'all know, Allison sends us craziness to these tests and all kind of stuff or whatever. And so we've talked about self-sabotage before, but this test is actually called a Saboteur Assessment.
This what this test...
Y'all like that? That's sexy?
This what this test did to me. Y'all see that?
A saboteur.
Y'all see yourself?
Let me see.
That's what it did. I didn't like that.
It made you look in the mirror. It made me
look at it a little different. And at 50, my mind, that's, if y'all wondering what that is, that's you looking at yourself. Sometimes it's good for you to look in the mirror and be honest with what you see. You see what I'm saying? That's what the test did for me. Now, what I don't like is it was accurately wrong for Deidre. But it was on point for pretty much everything for me.
So we're going to talk about him tonight.
I think that was a setup.
Because mine was, I don't know, maybe I didn't answer the questions. Honestly.
You ain't did something right. You ain't did something right.
But this was very off for me. Now, some of these characteristics could have been me back in the day.
Now, you read mine. I'm going to read yours.
Well, we're not going to get in depth with all of this because it could take us a while. But we are going to talk about the fact that it portrayed you accurately.
Now, and some of this, from what Deidre said, it did. I think this was some of her and back in the day, so I don't believe that it's accurate now. But her biggest one was an avoider. 6.3. Y'all, Deidre don't avoid nothing. Deidre, if she avoids something outside of her circle, it's because she want to. She ain't, listen, I'm not tussling with you. I'm not going there with you. I'm not here for the drama. But if it's something that got to do with me or her children or her grandkids, she ain't avoiding nothing.
Well, let me give a brief overview so they'll exactly know what we're talking about.
Go ahead and give the people
just a brief.
This test is not accurate.
So it was accurate for you. So what the Saboteur Assessment is, a lot of people, 500,000 plus people have actually taken it. And it was created by a gentleman named Mr. Shaman. He actually has a New York Times best-selling book and Stanford lectures on positive intelligence. And so it says your mind can be your best friend, but it also is your worst enemy, involved in self-sabotage. Your self-sabotage is caused by what he calls saboteurs in your mind. Saboteurs are internal enemies. They represent a set of automatic habits of your mind, each with its own voice, beliefs, and assumptions that work against your best interests. So there are 10 saboteurs in total. And so what he was saying is that we all suffer from at least a couple of them. It could be formed in early childhood. It says it help you survive physically and emotionally as a kid. However, they greatly limit your potential as an adult. The first step in weakening your saboteurs is to identify and expose them, as you can't fight an invisible enemy. So what he's basically saying is take the assessment, hone in on the results that you get to see if it's accurate. For me, like I said, this could have been my whole set of characteristics years ago. But for me now, it's not. So Johnny was like, well, how dare they be inaccurate on you, but mine is spot on. And so that's where this is coming from, the Saboteur Assessment. And so, like I said, we'll actually give y'all the information so y'all can go take the test. But the one thing that when I called Johnny and asked him if he had taken his, he said, I did, baby. And it made me look at some things that I really didn't want to look at because it was spot on. Okay, and so you already told what my first one was. You could go ahead.
Hers is an avoider. I don't believe that's what Deidre is. I think at one time that might be what she was in her past, but now I don't see that as her. And she didn't like, so basically it's focusing on the positive and pleasant in an extreme way, avoiding difficult and unpleasant tasks and conflicts. This was her all day long. Y'all remember in the beginning, I'll try to talk to her. We would try to have conversations. She didn't want to talk. She didn't want to do this. She'd write me a letter and then give it to me 6 months later. And then she want to have a conversation and I just forget everything. And then she didn't think I love her and I didn't care about her and all this. It was.
Well, why are you rambling and rumbling and running down?
That's not a ramble. That was detailed stuff.
Rambling and rumbling. It was all what it was. Down about me or what I.
But that's what an avoider is. Yeah. It focuses on the positive and pleasant in an extreme way, which means you don't want to deal with nothing that has to do with correcting anything
that comes at you. Yeah.
So avoids conflict, says yes to things one wouldn't want, a people pleaser. Downplays important of real problems and try to deflect others, has difficulty saying no, resists others through passive aggressive meaning rather than directly.
So basically avoiding things, not wanting to talk to people about issues that come up.
Like you like the warm fuzzy feelings.
Right.
And you don't want to upset nobody, upset yourself. You don't like the way it feels, so you try to stay on the good side and you don't want to bring up nothing with correction or anything. And yeah, that's not a good place to be. It's just not a good place to be. So that's what it says D-Drone is.
That was the actual top one.
That was the top one. It was at a 6.3. So
that's
I'll
not
let
who
her.
I am anymore.
That is, and I can concur. That is not who she is.
Yeah.
So I guess she's gonna read y'all what it said for me now.
Johnny's top one was a stickler. And so the definition.
What you shaking your head for?
What
shaking your head for, Allison?
Because Allison knows it's true.
She over here bobbing like she getting a reggae song.
So again, we're not gonna go through every characteristic or of everyone, but just to kind of give y'all an overview of how the test is working. This was spot on. Some of the characteristics for a stickler, it was his score for this was 5, so this was his highest. Perfectionism and a need for order and organization taken too far. Some of the characteristics: punctual, methodical, perfectionist, can be irritable, tense, opinionated, sarcastic. Highly critical of self and others, strong need for self-control and self-restraint. Works overtime to make up for others' sloppiness and laziness. Is highly sensitive to criticism. But what I will say is that it's not like you're anal or whatever. You do have those tendencies very strongly. But when you get overwhelmed, when you get tired, when you get stressed, it comes out even more. Very strong.
That's her being my wife.
It does. It comes out very strongly. Constant frustration and disappointment with self and others for not living up to ideal standards. Sarcastic or self-righteous overtones. That's what we dealt with a few weeks ago. However, like I said, that's not you always.
That's the wife again.
It is me, but I'm telling the truth. That's not you always.
It's not me always, but that
But you are a man of order. It was. And like you said,
when I tell y'all the unordered, unorganized, unstructured, it's no reason
it runs
for
him
it. I
batty.
feel like if you plan, even at the last minute, if just put a plan together. Just put a plan together. Now, what I have learned is when you got a relationship with God, He don't always tell you no plans. So sometimes you just gotta move and believe. So that has broken me in a different kind of way. Mm-hmm. When I deal with folk whose stuff just don't. Why are we doing it like this, sir?
And I don't disagree with you because I actually agree with you on that. Of course, we know things are going to change. Some things could change. And this was something that we dealt with earlier on in our marriage where I knew that because Johnny liked things to be in order. Nothing, it seemed like if something popped up, he just got anxious. It was a whole nother, something that, we had to deal with. So I wouldn't really mention if something, came up. I would just try to handle everything. Legit, try to handle everything. Yeah. And so he was like...
Oh, I ain't turned my phone.
He was like, he would, things might come up in the kid's schedule or something like that or whatever. But I knew the type of person that Johnny was. If this wasn't something that was planned, he would get like real irritable. And like, okay, so, what I'm supposed to do? Y'all didn't know this? Da-da-da-da-da. And I used to be like, okay, I'm not dealing with this. Put your fingerprint on that. I'm not dealing with this. I'll just take care of it. I'll do it. And then when I would do that and sometimes overwhelm myself, you would come in and say, well, babe, why didn't you tell me? Or why didn't you ask me, to do this, that, or the other? And I would, I'd be like, baby, I got it. I just got it. But you have gotten better with that. But I do understand the importance of at least putting together a plan, y'all. Things can't be just off the cuff all the time. If you have a plan and changes need to be made to the plan, that's good. That'll work.
And the people you got in, you just got them just standing. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. And they was on. That was like looking in the mirror into my eyes and gazing.
And it says the impact on self and others causes rigidity and reduces flexibility in dealing with change. And
Why
others,
you reading all of mine? You told me not to read all
I
yours.
didn't. I'm just saying that's the stickler offers a way of quieting the constant voice of self-judgment and fear of others' judgments through trying to be perfect.
Read all mine.
No, I'm just saying that a lot of this stuff is stuff, but not to this extreme. But that was spot on for you, baby. I love you. You want to go to the next one?
It said for Deidre next one at a 3.8 that she was a victim.
Lies you tell.
Now, even back in the day, Deidre didn't respond or handle herself as a victim. She didn't communicate. She didn't talk because she didn't know how to put her feelings into words. I would say the avoider thing was definitely a part of her characteristic then, but the victim part is never a part. But this is what the victim part says: emotional and temperamental as a way to gain attention and affection, an extreme focus on internal feelings, particularly painful ones. Yeah.
Oh, woe is me. That's basically what that is.
Yeah. And that's what a victim is. But Deidre, she's never had that characteristic. I need to talk to this dude. She answered 50 of these, and how you ain't got none of these right now? I don't even understand.
Okay, well, like you said, the victim, that was on the second one for me, and I don't agree with that at all. But of course, the victim is somebody who sees this, always. It's my fault. Something is happening to me. Why is everything always happening to me?
Yeah. So some of the characteristics is if criticized or misunderstood, tend to withdraw, pout, or sulk. Never been Deidre. Fairly dramatic and temperamental.
Oh, dramatic?
Colorful.
Well, that's the word.
When things get tough, want to crumble and give up. She's never been that. Some of the thoughts are, no one understands me, poor me, terrible things always happen to me. I might be unequivocally disadvantaged or flawed. Yeah, that ain't never been either.
Yeah.
Tend to brood over negative feelings for a long time. You did used to hold little grudges.
Yeah, and we talked about that.
Feel alone and lonely. Even when I'm around people, I am not close. Feelings of melancholy and abandonment. I don't think that. The feeling of alone and loneliness, what you think about that?
Even when I'm around other people?
Yeah, so I think at some point in time, because of the non-communication and connection with adults, when you had the girls when they were smaller, I think that was wanting me to be that person to talk to, and I wasn't, I was working all the time, so.
I still don't see it as categorized for that would be it.
Yeah.
But that's just some of and the victim, actually that fell as a 1.3 for Johnny. So that was on the bottom for Johnny.
Yeah, I ain't never felt like that.
Yeah, never been the victim. But so for Johnny's number 2, hyper vigilant is what this said for him. When I tell y'all they were slapping Johnny all in his face, they were slapping Johnny all in his face. That's the next saboteur, hyper vigilant. It's continuous intense anxiety about all the dangers and what could go wrong. Vigilance that can never rest. And so let me tell y'all how this showed up in him a long time ago. This hypervigilant has been here for a long time. Because the girls would ask to go to a party or something like that. And they couldn't if they were to ask me, of course I would say, okay, so where's the party? What time is it? When is it? Blase. Parents gonna be home. What's happening? Johnny would want to know all those things, but then he wanted to tell him he wanted to sit down and have a conversation with them, and he's looked up the crime in the area that they go into and all these possible things, scenarios that could happen.
I would get them
and somebody
percentages.
bring a gun and they start shooting. What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna look
Date
and see
rape,
where the exit doors at. Don't leave your drinks
homes,
down because somebody
bathrooms,
could
garages,
put
backyards.
It was a whole bunch just to be able to get to go out to a party.
I wanted them to know everything that they was going to get involved. See, when people do stuff, they don't think about everything. And I was a little dramatic. Yeah, I was. I ain't gonna lie.
Now who's dramatic?
I would say I wanted, my whole thing was I'm gonna allow y'all to have all the information so you can make a clear decision.
Right.
And they would say, okay, Dad, we still want to go. And then I would tell them no.
Yeah. Some of the characteristics are suspicious of what others are up to, constant expectation of mishap or danger, which, by the way, I need to insert. Several of those them going out turned into, some
Stuff
things
happened.
Stuff happening of,
and then I would show them on the
scenarios
news
that what he would give them.
Yep.
And they'd be like, and they even say now they're like, Daddy was spot on a couple of times. Granted, he just took it too far.
Listen, I had 6 daughters. What you wanted me to say?
I know, baby. But now that they're older and we're older, I appreciate you for trying to give them a different perspective to look at things at. So for that, that's what it was for me now. But back then I was like, oh, Jesus. They'd be like, well, Mama, it's a party coming up. And I said, well, y'all got to ask your daddy. So get your questions ready. Get your answers ready.
Listen.
And it was a couple times they was like, well, we just not going to ask.
Yeah, we good.
We
ain't going to, because
we don't even want to go. Because he going to put us through a whole lot of hoopla.
Now, that helped me a lot. Because that means I ain't had to go do all this research on this new thing they wanted to do. Because I was bringing everything to the table. Y'all need to be clear about what y'all going to do.
It says some feelings of the hypervigilant is life is full of dangers. If I don't look out for them, who will? But again, me looking back now, I think I'm glad that you always challenge them to look at things from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's my third one?
So your third one is a stickler.
Which we already explained that.
Yeah. So I do think you have some of this characteristic now when it comes to certain things. You want certain things to be a certain way, and So I think this this hit the first one, the number 3, and is at a 3.1. This the first one y'all might have got a little bit something right. That's all I'm saying.
I'm there on some of them, but like I said, we've already explained that was his number 1. Your number 3 is hyper rational. When I tell y'all, Johnny, they got Johnny spot on. Okay, so we already did hyper vigilant. So hyper rational is an intense and exclusive focus on the rational processing of everything, including relationships.
If I'm not, listen. Anyway.
It says intense and active mind, sometimes coming across as intellectually arrogant or secretive. Now, he does have an intense and a very active mind, but I don't think it ever comes off as intellectually arrogant, because that's just not who you are.
Do it.
You sick, dude. Private and don't let many people into my deeper feelings. Prefer to just watch the craziness around me and analyze from a distance. You may do that, but you have already tried to intervene to stop the crazy.
Well, this is this. Now where I'm at now, my wisdom that I have, some things I ain't meant to save to help everybody. That's all I'm saying.
Because you're one man.
I ain't meant to be in everything.
Because you're one man.
I get that now. And when people in the water and they moving around, they think they swimming, and you see them and they look like they not, they ain't swimming, and if they don't ask for help, then
yeah, it says some feelings of a hyper rational person is that they feeling different, alone, and not understood. Is that how you feel sometimes?
What?
I think that is.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, I think that is.
And I'm gonna tell you, out of all the girls, I would say the one person I think is the closest to me in this is Paige.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And I think that's what stopped her in her younger years from blossoming into who she is now.
Yeah.
So, but I do think, because I don't think like other people.
Yeah.
I do think
I
different.
know. And I have to remind you that that's not a bad thing.
It's not.
It's just the way that you're wired, and you create some really, really dope stuff. You're very,
I create what?
Some really dope stuff.
But I said I'm dope.
Sick of you.
I don't hate, cause I'm dope. And for all y'all millennials, y'all get on my nerves. Y'all know what I ain't talking about dope the drug. I'm talking about dope like.
Baby, I think they know
fresh.
what I'm talking about.
No, they don't.
They do.
That's an old term. They don't know.
Yeah, I think they
you heard
know,
of dope
baby.
before? Okay.
I think they know.
Oh,
Yeah,
must be.
yeah.
When you say certain things, the millennials be looking at dope. Why is he happy about the dope?
No, but because I do. Like I said, people don't get the insight to, like really talk to you and understand who you are and how you're wired. And so I tell you all the time, when I need things explained or a different perspective, and I'm talking about like a normal perspective that just the everyday average person, wouldn't be able to bring to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I get from you. And the conversations that we have causes me to think about things and posture myself in a different way. Yeah. I tell you all the time, you got a beautiful mind.
You do.
It's just sometimes when it go real far out, I just reel you back in a little bit. That's all.
And that's literally what she do. Hey. All I asked you for was the time, baby. I didn't ask. We don't need to know what happened in 1906.
What's my next one, baby?
See, that's what I'm trying to wheel me back in.
What's my next one?
Controller.
Yours is 2.
Is it?
Yep. What's
I'm
the
at
number?
you at a 3.1.
Okay, and so you're at a 3.8. The controller is anxiety-based need to take charge and control situations and people's actions to one's own will. High anxiety and impatience when that is not possible. Are you controller, Johnny?
Is that me? Really, Allison?
Strong energy and need to control and take charge.
I'm man
But
enough
you
to
do.
say.
You
I'm
do.
man
You
enough
are.
to say
That's-
that I do feel like that's a characteristic of mine that I've literally denied for a very, very long time. That's why this test kind of
Punched you in your face, didn't it?
Yeah, it kind of made me feel
Allison
some kind
said
of way.
snatched her edges. Well, it punched
Yeah.
you in the face.
I was like, yeah, I don't like that. Strong energy to take because it's almost everybody else. And this is what I know as being a psychology major. I feel everybody has their own process.
Yeah.
So their perspective and how they deal with stuff is completely different. But it's like, I see the end of the road right there.
I'm trying to get you to understand that it's right there.
Don't. How many times you gonna go off this same mountain? But it's their process.
Yeah.
It's their process. So
But you take it personal.
oh,
And you and y'all, that's what I be trying to help him with. It says
I'm not bad as I used to be.
You're not. You're absolutely not. But it says another characteristic. Push people beyond comfort zone. But in your defense, because I'm always gonna have your back, that's not such a bad thing.
It's not.
And that's why I say that's what you do for me. You really do.
Everybody attached to me I think I do that in some kind of way, shape, form, or fashion.
And this also says intimidate others. I don't think you mean to
I
come
don't
across.
intentionally do
right, exactly. And so that's why I'm saying it. And I'm not just saying it because I'm his wife, but those are things that you do because your passion is there and you care so much.
And I think that's what is more than anything else is my passion for it and wanting to see someone else be successful in a situation that I know that I can be an asset in, it's definitely not an intentional intimidation. That's not what I try to do. But I get it. I get it. Sometimes it do being a little pushy at times, and it can feel like, man, just chill. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Now, it says your thoughts.
Excuse me.
On the thought part of this, it says you are either in control or out of control. Have I ever been out of control? Really? So everybody in the room shaking their head. Yeah. I don't want to know because I don't want to know. If I work hard enough, I can and should control the situation so it goes my way. So it feels like that sometimes I want something to go my way.
It's not that intense anymore. It's not. But I don't think you've never tried to always say, for me, like in our marriage, I've never felt like it's always got to, that you've always, been a stickler for it always going your way.
Yeah.
And I told you the other day, I said, sometimes you can be stubborn. Sometimes you can be very, very strong-willed and, you're going to see things how you want to see it. But I know that there's growth and there's maturity there because now, you quickly take a second to step back and analyze what happened.
Always.
And then you come back and you be like, babe, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I didn't think about it from that perspective. Maybe like a month, maybe like a few weeks ago, a situation happened and I remembered, and you looked at it one way and you were very, very strong. I'm not going to go into detail about what it was, but you were very strong in your opinion about what had just taken place. Very strong. And I looked at you and I was like, nope, you cannot do that. You know what I'm talking about?
I can't remember.
We were in your office. And it involved another person and another situation that was going on, and you felt very strongly. I'm gonna remind you later. You felt very strongly about it, and I had to be like, and I looked at you and I was like, no, you can't do that because that is not right, sir. You can feel that way, but you can't control that situation. That's not your call, and you cannot be so adamant that it's got to be what you say. And you left out of the room. You did.
I took a second.
Mm-hmm.
Came back about 15, 20 minutes later after I analyzed it and had a very productive conversation.
You are absolutely right. And so because you were able to do that so quickly, you gave the other party the opportunity to see your viewpoint and show it to them from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And so it was a very productive conversation. But again, I'm always defend you, baby. That's not you trying to be anal or say it's my way or the highway. You know what I'm saying? Like to be obnoxious about it because that's not who you are. But you are very passionate about, how you feel and what you feel and wanting things to be fair to everybody involved and all that stuff. So I know that's where that fuel and that passion comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, it absolutely, you see it quicker now. Sometimes I have to just be like, baby, no. I need you to take a step back and I need you to think about that because that's not going to ride. And like I said, because they respect your opinion, you were able to say that in a different way and show it from a different perspective because you see things down the road.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And
Amen.
Having the ability to change is something that I had to work on. So having the ability to change, my conversation is almost like giving somebody, like actually changing my clothes so they can see it a different way, or changing the setting. So that's what I've kind of learned throughout my years of living and being with the wisdom that I've gained is you can't beat something in somebody.
Right.
But if you're really trying to help them, then you need to make the situation into a atmosphere that where you're actually helping them.
Right.
Because what I was doing in the beginning wasn't helping them.
Right.
I just wanted them to see what I saw.
Right.
And just tell me yeah, and let's move on.
Right.
And that wasn't my goal.
Well, I know that wasn't your goal. That's why, as your wife, I said, baby, I need you to pump your brakes and go get it together.
All right.
What's the next one?
Next one is hyperachiever. What's the looking around for?
I don't know.
Deidre's next one is hyperachiever. Now, I think this is a part of you that I'm actually proud of, because at one point in time you didn't believe that you can accomplish some of the stuff that you are accomplishing now.
I agree.
So now, because of who you are and who we are together and who you represent, not only me but God, I feel like this is a characteristic that serves a good purpose in you. Because you are definitely an achiever. At some points, you are a hyperachiever. You know what you want as far as a vision when you're doing something, and that's not a bad thing. So some of the characteristics. So what it says is dependent on consistent performance and achievement for self-respect, self-validation. Highly focused on external success, leading to unsustainable workaholics, tendencies, and loss of touch with deeper emotion and relationship needs. I don't think the hyper part is a part of that.
Right.
The achiever part, I believe that's you. Hyperachiever, I think you want to be impactful. You want to be successful. I think you would work harder to get to a destination you're trying to get to. But I don't think it's in an unhealthy place.
Right.
And I think that's what this is talking about. That the hyperachiever is in an unhealthy place. So where it says highly focused on external success, leading to unsustainable workaholic tendencies. I don't think that's you. Competitive, imagine status, consciousness, good at covering up insecurities and showing positive image. That's not you.
Yeah, achieving in a positive way is I think more so explains me not trying to achieve for status or for other people to say, to be flattered or whatever, because that's never my goal.
Yeah, adapt personality to fit what would be most impressive to others, goal-oriented, and workaholic streak. Absolutely not. It took a minute, but I think you are very comfortable in your skin. Your confidence is very comfortable. I don't believe at all that what people think matters to you to where it would change who you are.
Right. You absolutely have that correct.
Yeah. So I don't believe that at all. I think in our relationship, because we are who we are to each other, that I think what I think matters to you. But even in that extent, I'm always in a supportive posture. Mm-hmm. So I wanted, and this more than anything, I wanted more than anything for you to be comfortable with who you are and I needed you to be just transparent and real in the relationship, because I don't want to come home to somebody who's not who I need them to be. Mm-hmm. So,
or not who
I
am.
Who they are.
Period. Yeah.
So I need to talk to core, heart wife. I don't need to talk to layers and layers of somebody who's trying to be what we call the looking glass mirror. And I don't need you to be who you think I need you to be. I need you to be who I need you to be.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I need that to make sense. Why are you laughing at me?
Right, because you're looking at me like crazy. Like
I need you to be.
You're looking up to find me to see where I'm at.
I need you to be who I need you to be. I don't need you to be who you think I need you to be.
But you know what? I think that, and even at being married almost 30 years, this year, last year, COVID year, 2020, I think these years have been the years that we have been even more transparent with one another.
Yeah.
Not that we, went through this marriage sugarcoating things, but just to the point of like really telling you, or you really telling me, like, and being completely, if you think that you can't get any more vulnerable in your marriage, you're wrong. Because I think there are still layers and levels to go to.
Yeah.
Still layers to unfold, if that makes sense.
As we evolve and continue to grow into who we are.
Right. And so I know that's been what it's been for us. I know, I most definitely know for me, because there are hard things that I didn't know how to tell you. And especially, like I said, when we said a few weeks ago about us tussling, those were hard things that I had to tell you.
Yeah.
And I had to tell you because I want you to be better, as well as you have to tell me because you want me to be better. And so I'm just glad that we're there.
Need you to be who.
Because it's necessary, y'all. Like, for real. It's necessary. And y'all probably saying, well, how did we get here? And we were talking about overachieving. But at the end of the day, I am coming into, I think on the road to who God created me to be. And as it's happening, I want to say that you'll know that it's happening or things are changing.
Yeah.
You just got to be in touch with yourself. And so I'm achieving things. I'm surprising myself as I'm doing them, because just a few short years ago, I would have never seen myself doing it. And so we're not going to get stuck here, y'all. We're going to move. Johnny's next one is restless. Constantly in search of greater excitement in the next activity or constant busyness. Rarely at peace or content with the current activity. Now, this is him. He's restless to the point of where I have to be like, baby, I need you to rest today. Or a day off. Baby, I need you to rest. Like, to the point where it's very rare that if we get a day to sleep in, for some reason, he got to get up. For some reason. I'm like, where you going? Just rest. Characteristics. Easy distracted, can get too scattered. Stays busy juggling many different tasks and plans. Bounces or escapes from unpleasant feelings very quickly. You are learning how to feel your feelings.
I don't think I don't feel my feelings.
You feel you feel your feelings, but I think you're learning how to communicate that better now. We've had a few feelings conversation within the last few weeks. Like feelings. Mm-hmm. You would talk about it, but I think at a certain, extent, you pretty much was like, okay, I'm done with that. I don't talk about that no more. I'm done with it. But I think, and that's why I was saying I I challenged you to be honest with yourself about what you were feeling and what you weren't feeling. And to actually verbalize it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I told you and like we've talked about on the podcast before, there was a time when I wasn't honest with myself about how I felt. Because I thought if I just said I was okay, I would be okay. Instead of being honest about how I felt.
That was the avoidant.
Yeah.
I don't.
For me, that's what I saw.
In my mind, I'm always thinking, so although we are very transparent with our conversations, we talk about everything.
Yeah.
My goal is never to disrespect you, dishonor you, say anything crazy, aggressive. You know, I like to have in-depth conversations, and that's what we have. And when I don't feel like what I'm going to say is always going to be that. So when I'm gathering myself and gathering my words to actually have a conversation and to create statements and sentences and paragraphs, and in my mind, I'm saying a bunch of crazy stuff in my head. I'm like, I can't say that to her. I'd literally be having conversations about that. Joker, you can't say that to your wife. Are you crazy?
But where do those thoughts
I
come
don't
from?
know. It's sometimes it's just the emotions I be going through, the feelings, and that's fine. I can have the feelings, I can have the emotions, and I'm all right with that. It just can't come out like that. So I have to give myself time, because I'm human. So I'm not gonna ever disrespect you or dishonor you. So when I'm in that place, and when I don't have the proper rest, and when I don't have all these things clicking in a healthy way, then the words are just there. And even if the words are not there, then my tone can't be crazy neither. And sometimes when I'm feeling like my tone is crazy, and when I say something, I hear when you respond and you say, Joker, you're not being nice. A Joker, you saying stuff and you're not, I hear that. So I had to chill. I have to chill. And I'm not always like that, but I do get like that.
You do. You do. And so that's why I strategically try to put things in place so you won't get to that point.
I know. And
You know what
my
I'm saying?
head hard sometimes.
Ooh, say it again. Say it again for the people.
Stop.
Okay. All right. Okay, so that was the one for him. Just restless. Can't keep still. Always got something going on, or always make something going on. You shift your attention to something exciting. Impatient with what is happening now. Wondering what is next. And
I do have a lot of that. Yeah. I got a friend. We have a friend of the family. Well, he's actually family that does our massages, in-home massages, and he told us one time. He said, "Depression lives in the past. Anxiety lives in the future, but peace lives in the present." And that was...
I could not remember that. I'm gonna have to text that to myself.
That spoke volumes to me, because
it does, because you remember that.
So organic and so true.
Yeah.
Like, you don't pay attention to that. When you're depressed, most of the time you thinking about something that you coulda, shoulda, woulda, probably wanted to do. You didn't succeed at it, and you lived there. So it's gone, it's finished, there's nothing you could do about it, but you lived there hoping and wishing that you could have did it different. Anxiety, always worrying about something that possibly can happen. Not has happened, possibly can happen.
Yeah.
So that's where we live at in our minds most of the time. We very rarely, and the crazy thing is a statement that I say all the time, that I say, sometimes I have to pause and turn around and look at the roses that are planted. Like,
Absolutely.
Look at the seeds that I've been planting in my life, and to actually go back and look at them and take them in. My children, my grandkids, their life, the decisions that they're making, my wife, what she's doing, my parents. Sometimes you just got to, because if you don't, you always striving. And I'm not saying that you don't strive, but you always striving to do better. But then you always somehow find yourself in a ditch and a hole somewhere, wishing that you could have did something different or better.
Yeah.
Or you find yourself having anxiety attacks about something that hadn't even happened yet, that might don't even happen. So yeah, he laid some
that kind of messed us up.
That was heavy.
We both just stopped and looked at him like, my
heavy.
Lord, you just said a mouthful, sir.
It was heavy. So
Yeah.
he definitely blessed us that night, and but that's what peace is, in your present. This
and
is what you can enjoy your present.
And look at your fruit. That's why I told Johnny, I've been telling him a lot of that lately. Just look at your fruit. When things get hectic and you start to think about what didn't happen, when you start to think about what you need to do or what's going to happen, just take a minute and live in the present and enjoy the present.
All right, what number we on? 6?
Okay, so the next one is, for you, is avoider. But we've already talked about that.
Which one are you on? So it's 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're not gonna go through it because I think we've already went through.
It's hyper vigilant.
Yeah.
So we've
already talked about that. We've already talked about avoider on mine too.
Restless.
We just talked about restless for them.
All right, your hyper vigilant was a 1.9. Restless was a 1.3.
And then the next one for Johnny was a pleaser, which that's self-explanatory. Has a strong need to be liked by people, all this stuff. Now, this is where I think they took a little detour, because that's the one thing that you do not have that characteristic. Has a strong need to be liked by people. Needs frequent reassurance by others about their acceptance and affection. Can't express own needs openly and direct. That's not my husband. I
feel like I'm actually the opposite.
Yeah,
I'm the joker that would swim the other way.
The whole exact.
I'm gonna go this way just because.
It says worried that insisting on own needs may drive others away. No, that ain't you.
No.
I can do this for myself. I help others selflessly and don't expect anything in return. Now, they said that's a justification lie, but you actually do that. You help others selfishly and don't expect anything in return. It says the pleaser tries to earn attention and acceptance through helping others, which that's not your motive. It's they have a indirect attempt to have one's emotional needs met. It's fed by 2 original assumptions that are picked up in childhood. 1, I must put others' needs ahead of my own. 2, I must give love and affection in order to get any back. No. I must earn it, and I'm simply not worthy of it. So I think with that one wasn't on point, but they did pretty darn well with these other ones for him.
Yeah, they hit the target.
What's my next one? Have we already talked about it?
Hyper rational.
Yeah, we've already talked about it.
We've talked about that. I don't think that's Deidre.
So some of these had a couple, maybe a few of my tendencies.
Maybe 1.
Right. However, y'all hit the
how
spot.
much was it? 12, 35, 50, whatever it was. Y'all might have got 1 partially right.
The next one for you is hyperachiever, and we had already talked about that.
And the last one for you is a pleaser.
Yeah, that's not the good system, Mobley.
So we had a little fun with this.
We did. The last one for you, should I say, was victim. And so they started off strong and then kind of weaned down a little bit, on you.
Well, the percentages went down.
Yeah, the percent for hyperachiever was 1.9, and then for victim for you was 1.3. So it did go down drastically. But again, we always, I think, find out something either new about ourselves when we do these tests or assessments and stuff like that. I think when he was spot on, but when it was off, it was off. So I'd say I would. And when they tell you when you start the test, don't ponder long, don't sit here and try to rationalize your answers. go with basically the first thing that comes to your mind about what you would say as far as the questions are concerned. And so that's what it is. You want to put your print on that for me, sir, so we can. Why are you trying to be sexy? So it's called, if you want to Google it, it's called the Positive Intelligence Assessment. And I think we enjoy doing it. Like I said, we always enjoy these things because sometimes it hits it spot on, sometimes it doesn't. Again, some of my characteristics and things, basically years past, they would have been spot on.
Yeah.
With a lot more things for me, but for Johnny, they were. And like he told me, he was like, babe, it showed me some stuff that I didn't really know if I wanted to.
And I said, with the test, I said, I'm not gonna buck on everything. Cause, sometimes this is what I call showing a person themselves in the mirror.
Yeah.
So when you take a mirror and hold it up to yourself and you look into your own eyes and you be like, what you see, this is what this is. So some of the stuff was on, some of it wasn't, but I mean, it's a test made by man.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's up to you to be honest with yourself, because you can only fix what you
acknowledge.
I'm just saying, look at you knowing the love. Trying to finish my sentences. Tonight we go
cook this food. Well, no, y'all, we have been doing really well. It's already cooked. We just got to do the rice. I'll do the rice. And so
this wasn't what I was looking for.
Well, you know that ain't happening. That ain't happening, y'all. Not tonight.
That's fine.
You know why. So you all right. And so we have gym in the morning and 4 o'clock, y'all. 4:15 come very early. Really early.
It does.
But we committed, y'all. We gonna live healthy lives. We challenge y'all to do something.
We're gonna live life. We're not gonna let life live us.
Live us, right. We're not gonna just exist, but we're gonna live. And so for all things Mobleys, www.momentswiththemobleys.com. Yeah. If you funny, we this. Actually would also like for you all to continue to vote if you've started.
Please.
If you haven't started now you can go to connectsavannah.com. Vote for us for best local podcast. That's Moments with the Mobleys. You can vote as many times as you want. If you have like 3 different emails, you can vote 3 different times. Mm-hmm. But other than that, you can vote every day. And we just thank y'all for votes and support and all that good stuff. So,
what she said.
Thank y'all so much for chilling with us, for hanging with us, for going on this journey. We're going to keep posting our gym days.
Keep going.
Other stuff as well.
Week 3, baby, let's go.
This is week 3. We do want to tell y'all that the next time that we come and talk to y'all this Saturday when y'all listen to this, we will be 2 days away from our 30th wedding anniversary. And so we will be taping that evening. It'll be something else that we're taping for.
That y'all will find out pretty soon.
That y'all will find out about soon. But we bless the Lord for 30 years, y'all.
Marriage.
Y'all have actually seen it, going through some of the things that we've gone through with us. Heard about some stuff that happened in the past. But it's 2022. And y'all, that's 30 whole years. Bless it. Oh, bless it. And so we met in 1986. So this year, August will be 30 years of us meeting. 36 years of us meeting. 30 years married in less than a week. So we're excited, guys. And we are going to go off for a spell.
for a week.
And we're going to take y'all, it won't be a full week. Well, a full week together, but
we
out of town for a few of those days. But we're going to, let y'all see some stuff.
And we're going to come back home because you know what? We got a whole house built and we don't spend no time in this house. We come home and sleep. So half of it's going to be away and the other half is going to be right here. So we gonna do some little video blogs so you can see. Hopefully, I get on the driving range some way.
Prayerfully,
I want to take my wife with me, but I got a feeling she go get an outfit out of it some kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
to drive you around in the golf cart.
That's what she wants.
So say good night to the people.
Good night, people. This has been Moments with the Mobleys. I am your man, Johnny Mobley Jr.
And I'm still his wife, Deidre.
And we are something like an ordinary couple
with extraordinary purpose.
Peace out, y'all.
Night, night.